Welcome back. Nearly 10,000 people will be affected if National Highway 17 is widened at Porvorim. Nearly 40 structures will be demolished along a stretch of 5 kilometers. But surprisingly, the government has not considered the alternate route proposed by the locals that would have minimized the demolitions.
The residents of Porvorim are in a fix. The widening of the NH17 highway passing through Porvorim is going to bulldoze nearly 40 structures along a stretch of 5 kilometers. Nearly 10,000 people indirectly and directly will be affected with the proposed alignment. The widening is part of the 4-lane plans to be undertaken by the National Highway Authority of India from Patra Devi to Pole. 560 structures that include 280 houses will face the axe from Patra Devi to Pole. The NHAI has, however, decided to reduce the width of the road to 45 meters in densely populated areas and go ahead with 60-meter widening wherever possible. Move is spared of any kind of demolition as NHAI has proposed a bypass for this stretch. One amongst the affected, Dr. Ravindra Chodankar, who owns Chodankar Nursing Home. Dr. Chodankar is part of the committee under the banner of National Highway 17 Porvorim Action Committee, which is opposing the expansions.
We must know that Porvorim is not a village at all now at this stage. It is a satellite city with a legislative assembly, there are business houses, there are hospitals, there are teaching institutions, there are schools, and there are a lot of religious structures like churches and mosques. All these are there in Porvorim. Rehabilitation of the houses is possible. Rehabilitation of the business houses, hospital is not possible. It is out of question. Schools cannot be rehabilitated. The schools, colleges cannot be done. So I don't think it is right on the part.
Vice Chairman of the committee, Anil Kaunto, questioned why the government has not considered the alternate bypass suggested 2 years back by the locals that would have minimized the demolitions.
Approximately 10,000 of the people will get affected. In last year, in 2008 October, that time there was a discussion that the highway was passing by that road. I don't know what made them change all of a sudden that route to be discarded and have this new route.
Our reporter Jason Suarez with video journalist Sushant Pal.
BITS Pilani has organized a 4-day conference on 13th National Convention of Knowledge, Library and Information Networking. This conference is aimed at enlightening the librarians on revitalizing the libraries and the role of a librarian in the modern world.
Director of Delnet, H.K. Kaul, informed that libraries should be a temple of knowledge so that every individual can access any information through libraries.
If users don't come to the libraries will lose their relevance and will become storehouses. We have to make libraries the temples of knowledge where every individual will get access to the necessary information and knowledge resources or will be directed to appropriate sources. Librarians therefore will have to update information on a regular basis.
He informed this at the 13th National Convention of Knowledge, Library and Information Networking at BITS Pilani in Zuarinagar. It is a 4-day conference jointly organized by the Delnet and BITS Pilani. Around 260 librarians and information specialists will attend this conference. Tuesday was the first day of the conference and will continue for more 2 days.
Information is power, knowledge is power. So merely going through an exercise in the university or an institution does not mean much. It really depends on how informed you are.
A book on NACLA in 2010 was released on the occasion. Professor L.K. Maheshwari said, it is very vital for a librarian to have accurate knowledge of the library.
Today, the technology is such that they are predicting that every 11 hours, the knowledge is going to double by 2050. If that is the scenario which is emerging as a result of technology, naturally the question comes up as to what is the role of libraries, how librarians should work, how should the information available in the library is converted to knowledge, and it is essentially for the human welfare.
Our reporter in Zuarinagar, Surendra Madkaikar.
Police Health officers and FDA officers raided 3 fruit godowns in Kharevada, Vasco on Tuesday. The joint team inspected the godowns and seized fake ripening of fruits and sealed the godowns. 3 persons were detained under Section 7 of Food and Drugs Adulteration. Mohammad Narangi and Abdul Wahab were using calcium carbide for artificially ripening the fruits.
On Tuesday morning, 3 godowns at Kharevada and Vasco were raided by police and health officials. Food and Drug Administration inspectors were also called to examine the chemical used for ripening the fruits. After a thorough examination, the tests were proved positive. 3 people are arrested for committing this offence. It is known that this chemical was used to ripen the fruits that are sold in the market. This chemical is harmful for health and leads to diseases like cancer. The health officer, Dr. Vikas Kuvelkar, informed us more on the chemical and its consequences.
Pudi कसली it is some chemical which is used for ripening of the fruits. म्हणजे कितें आमे पिकोवपा लागून हे कसले तरी chemical घालता. But it smells of carbide. काय न्ही म्हणटकच पुढे हाजे टेस्टिंग करपा जाय. We don't know what it is. तशेंच आमी डायरेक्टर ऑफ फूड एंड ड्रग्साक कळयलें आसा ते येतले आतां आनी हे आमी सगळे ते टेस्टिंग करतले तांचे लॅबोरेटरीन टू सी वॉट केमिकल अदर देन कार्बाइड or it may be carbide or anything else.
I called the health officer, urban health officer, the police also, the PI, the DYSP is also here, and we checked all these places. In fact, we have seen a substance which smells like carbide, which is used for ripening of fruits. Now it can be very dangerous, but then this has to be investigated.
Officer of FDA Rajiv Korde informed us that this chemical can lead to cancer.
Yeah, it is a white powder which emits calcium carbide gas, which is very carcinogenic and which is prohibited under the Prevention of Food Adulteration Act. Artificial ripening is prohibited. So now we'll be seizing entire stock and we'll drawing some samples for analysis. And further action we will take after analysis report.
And what will be the use of these mangoes?
You cannot use these mangoes now because they are unfit for consumption because they are ripened artificially.
A reporter in Vasco, Surendra Madkaikar for Prudent Media.
Residents of Asoi Chikli are waiting for a tar road for decades. People have blamed the panchayat, whereas the sarpanch is passing the buck on to officers. Thankfully, he has assured to get the road ready within 6 months. Our reporter Surendra Madkaikar reports.
हांव आतां आसा चिखले पंचायतींतल्या आसय ह्या गांवान आसय गांवान असो हें जाल्लें आसा लोकांक त्रास जाता की जवळ जवळ 100 वर्सां जालीं हे लोक हांगसर रावता पूण तांकां हो रस्तो ना कच्चो रस्तो आसा कच्चो रस्तो आसल्या कारणान तांकां पावसान हांगसर इतले त्रास जाता की हांगसर सगळें हाका उदक भरलेलें आसा उदक भरून हांगसर तांकां कशेंच वचपाक येवपाक वचपाक मेळना लोकांचे कागाळे आसा की हांगसरले सरपंच आहा तो बीन कांयच कानार हें घेयना की लोकांनी तांकां रिक्वेस्ट केला की हो रस्तो आमकां करून दिवचो म्हणून पूण सरपंच म्हणटा की हो भाटकाराचे हांगसर जागो असल्या कारणान आमी आतां एक्विजिशनाक घातला म्हणून एक्विजिशन जालें की आमी 6 म्हयन्या उपरांत हो रस्तो करतले अशें तेंचें आश्वासन दिल्लें आसा पळोवया 6 म्हयन्या उपरांत आमी हो रस्तो तांकां लोकांक मेळटा काय कितें 100 वर्सां लोक रावता तांकां.
The Sarpanch of Chikli, Rahul De Costa, has said that the land acquisition process of the road is in progress.
आमी रेजोल्यूशन गेलें की तो रोड करपाक जेन्ना आमी भाटकारा एप्रोच जाले भाटकारान आमकां एनओसी दिवंक ना ताका लागून तो रोड करनासतना उरलो मागीर आमी लँड एक्वायर करपाक लागलो लँड एक्विजिशन चालू केलें हेका प्रोसेसाक जेन्ना लास्ट टायमाक गेले ते 5 वर्सां जेन्ना आमी इलेक्शन ते बॉडीन आमी रेजोल्यूशन गेल्लें आनी तें रेजोल्यूशन फॉरवर्ड केलें आनी तें जेन्ना लँड एक्वायर करता तेन्ना PDA एनओसी जाय पडटा जेन्ना PDAन ती 2 वर्सां सुमार आमकां एनओसी दिवं ना PDAन कित्याक आनी आमचो लोकल MLA जेन्ना मातानी साल्दना आसता तेणेंय फॉलो करूं ना ती तशी उरली जेन्ना आतां ह्या टायमा जेन्ना मोविन गुदिनो इलेक्ट जायिल्लो तेन्ना मोविनान ती फॉलो अप करून ती एनओसी आमकां PDAसून दिली आनी तेजे लँड एक्विजिशन प्रोसेस चालू जालो आनी भाटकारान जी एनओसी दिवं ना म्हूण ताका इतलो टायम लागलो.
But people of Asoi feel cheated. They say that every time a person is elected, he merely makes hollow promises of mending the mud road, but nothing happens. Chikli Panchayat was ranked second among all the panchayats in the state, but few areas in Chikli are still underdeveloped.